Hello, you're watching QPVN News. I'm Anh Tuấn and we keep you up to date with the headlines. General Nguyễn Trọng Nghĩa appointed Chairman of General Political Department of Vietnam People's Army. General Phan Van Giang receives outgoing Singaporean ambassador. Vietnam Airlines launches direct flights connecting Hanoi and Jakarta. On November the 4th, at the Presidential Palace, President Lương Cường, Chairman of the National Defense and Security Council and Commander-in-Chief of the People's Armed Forces, presided over a ceremony to announce decisions on senior military appointments and promotions. On behalf of the party and state leaders, President Lương Cường presented the appointment decision to Comrade Nguyễn Trọng Nghĩa, head of the party's Central Committee's Commission for Information, Education and Mass Mobilization as Chief of the General Political Department of the Vietnam People's Army, and promoted him to the rank of General. He also conferred the rank of Senior Lieutenant General on Deputy Ministers of National Defense Nguyễn Văn Gấu and Lê Đức Thái. Congratulating the newly appointed and promoted officers, President Lương Cường praised them as exemplary, well-trained leaders with firm political will, integrity, and strong sense of responsibility. He urged them to uphold revolutionary ethics, unity, and the noble traditions of the Vietnam People's Army, remain absolutely loyal to the party, fatherland, and people. The President emphasized the importance of continuous learning, training to remain worthy of their leadership and command roles, strive to excellently complete all tasks assigned by the party, state, and people. President Lương Cường called on the officers, together with the Central Military Commission, the Ministry of National Defense, and the General Political Department, to continue building a revolutionary, regular, high-quality and modern Vietnam People's Army, to proactively contribute to strengthening the all-people national defense posture linked with the people's security posture and the people's heart disposition. Speaking on behalf of the newly promoted officers, General Nguyễn Trọng Nghĩa pledged to set an example in thought and action, firmly adhere to the party's four steadfast principles, uphold the revolutionary ethics, embody the noble qualities of alcohol soldiers, and foster unity, discipline, and order, while enhancing leadership capacity with a spirit of innovation, courage, and accountability to fulfill their duties effectively. On November the 4th, during the National Assembly's working session, Party General Secretary Tô Lâm delivered a speech sharing new highlights and key orientation in the draft documents for the 14th National Party Congress. Attending the session were Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính and permanent member of the Secretariat Trần Cẩm Tú. The General Secretary urged lawmakers to focus on clarifying and perfecting 7 major issues, including institutional reform, building a law-governed socialist state, decentralization and accountability, models of local governance, the relationship between the party, the state and the people, leadership methods and innovation in national governance. The drafting subcommittee outlined 18 new breakthroughs directions, reflecting a strong spirit of reform and innovation. General Secretary Tô Lâm remarks received wide support from deputies, seen as crucial guidance for party building, political system reform, and the development of a socialist rule of law state in Vietnam's new development phase. Following the session, deputies held group discussions to contribute ideas to the draft Congress documents in a lively and constructive atmosphere aimed at refining the country's vision for the new era. On the afternoon of November the 4th in Hanoi, General Phan Van Giang, Deputy Secretary of the Central Military Commission and Minister of National Defense, chaired a conference of the Central Military Commission to review major issues. Regarding the adjustment of the detailed plan for the Vietnam Military History Museum, General Phan Van Giang stressed that relevant agencies should consult historians, scientists, and architects to ensure a multifunctional design, harmonizing key areas such as the main building and office complex, central square, outdoor exhibition space, recreating historical scenes, memorial area, creative discovery zone, sculpture garden, ecotourism site, and open space for visitors. As for the zoning and overall architectural layout of the Ministry of National Defense Command headquarters in the southern area, General Phan Van Giang requested agencies and units to study the terrain and site conditions to properly arrange functional buildings. He stressed the need to ensure architectural harmony, aesthetic value, and synchronized technical infrastructure and auxiliary facilities. On November the 4th in Hanoi, General Phan Van Giang, Minister of National Defense, received outgoing Singaporean ambassador to Vietnam, JAKARTA, who came to say goodbye. Congratulating the ambassador on successfully completing his term of office, General Phan Van Giang highly appreciated the ambassador's positive contributions in consolidating and developing the good relation between Vietnam and Singapore in general and between the two countries' ministries of national defense in particular. The outgoing Singaporean ambassador affirmed that defense cooperation is an important pillar in the Vietnam-Singapore bilateral cooperation and hoped that in the coming time, both sides will continue to coordinate and promote the existing good cooperative relationship to new heights. General Phan Van Giang believed that the ambassador would continue to have special affection and foster the good friendship between Vietnam and Singapore in general and between the two countries' ministries of national defense in particular. Senior Lieutenant General Nguyễn Trường Thắng, Deputy Defense Minister, had a meeting to review the preparation for the second Vietnam-Cambodia Border Defense Friendship Exchange on November the 4th. According to reports from agencies and units, preparations for the exchange were actively implemented. Many contents were completed ahead of schedule. Coordination between agencies and units, as well as in the locality where the exchange takes place, has been closely implemented, showing solemnity and hospitality, ensuring the program would take place solemnly and absolutely safety, contributing to deepening the friendship between Vietnam and Cambodia. Appreciating the efforts of agencies and units over the past time, Senior Lieutenant General Nguyễn Trường Thắng urged all assigned units to be more proactive and engaged, not only to fulfill their own tasks, but also to coordinate and support one another to ensure overall success. Any difficulties arising during implementation should be reported promptly for timely resolution. Before dawn, ships under Bodyguard Flotilla 48 are already heading out to sea. Bracing rough waves, its officers and soldiers stay firm at their post, safeguarding the country's maritime sovereignty. Each voyage combines patrol and law dissemination, helping fishermen comply with regulations and deepening the military-civilian bond at sea.
Chúng tôi xác định rõ
combating IUU fishing means protecting marine resources and national reputation. Following the flotilla's directives, we've conducted joint patrols with the Coast Guard to enforce the law without exceptions and guide fishermen to follow IUU rules, helping remove the European Commission's yellow card on Vietnam seafood exports. Together with Coast Guard Region 2, Bodyguard Flotilla 48 remains a key force in fighting illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing, an effort tied not only to resource management but also to protecting Vietnam's sustainable blue seas for future generations. Missions aboard vessel BP 481901 have helped me gain valuable experience in detecting and handling IUU violations, contributing to easing the European Commission's yellow card warning. Through day and night, the ships of Bodyguard Flotilla 48 quietly cut through the waves, protecting fishermen, preserving the sea and standing as a steel shield at the nation's maritime frontiers. Coming up next, Vietnam and Republic of Korea enhance cooperation in labor and migration management. Vietnam Airlines launches direct flights connecting Hanoi and Jakarta. On November the 3rd in Seoul, Vietnam's Deputy Minister of Home Affairs Vũ Chiến Thắng held working sessions with the Republic of Korea's Ministry of Employment and Labor, Ministry of Justice, and the Human Resources Development Service of Korea, or HRD Korea for short, to promote bilateral cooperation in labor, employment, and migration management. During talks with Korean Vice Minister of Employment and Labor Son Pin-hoon, both sides praised recent cooperation results, noting that Vietnam now ranks first in the number of workers under the EPS program and has reduced the rate of illegal stays to about 19%, surpassing the target. The two ministries agreed to strengthen coordination to enhance the implementation of a MOU, focusing on 5 key measures, including increasing recruitment and accepting quotas in line with Korean enterprises' needs and workers' aspirations, expanding Korean language testing locations and formats to facilitate candidates and shorten processing and departure times, broadening occupational categories to include fundamental industrial sectors such as casting, plastic processing, surface treatment, and heat treatment, supporting workers' reintegration after returning home, and strengthening inspection to safeguard their legitimate rights and interests regarding accommodation and working conditions. On the same day, Deputy Minister Vũ Chiến Thắng met with Lee Wo-young, President of HRD Korea, and witnessed the signing of a service commitment agreement between HRD Korea and Vietnam Center of Overseas Labor. At the meeting, Deputy Minister Vũ Chiến Thắng noted that over the past 20 years, more than 160,000 Vietnamese have worked in the Republic of Korea under the EPS program, with over 43,000 currently employed legally. Korean enterprises appreciate Vietnamese workers for their skills, discipline, and adaptability. Later that day, the delegation met with the Ministry of Justice, chaired by Mr. Yong Ho Cha, Director General of the Immigration Policy Bureau. The direct Hanoi-Jakarta air route was launched at a ceremony held in Jakarta on November the 4th, becoming the second direct route between Vietnam and Indonesia, inaugurated by Vietnam Airlines this year, following the Ho Chi Minh City-Denpasar service in June. The move demonstrates the carrier's long-term commitment to investing in and expanding its network in the Indonesian market. The inaugural flight is scheduled for November the 22nd, 2025. With daily operations and convenient overnight flight times, passengers will be able to make full use of daytime hours for work, sightseeing, or domestic travel. Particularly beneficial or busy business travelers and tourists, the new route will bring practical benefits and meet the growing travel demand of people in both Vietnam and Indonesia, while enhancing Vietnam's airlines' competitiveness in the ASEAN aviation market. On November the 4th in Hanoi, the Department of Hydrometeorology under the Ministry of Agriculture and Environment held a press conference to provide information and early warning on Storm Kamagi. In details, Kamagi is a strong typhoon with a wide circulation, moving quickly and with complex development. It is forecasted that in the coming days, the storm will likely to strengthen as it moves into the EC, South China Sea internationally, causing strong winds, large waves, and widespread rain in the Central and Central Islands. Faced with that situation, the department has issued an emergency forecast, activated the warning system at the highest level, and at the same time requested relevant agencies of coastal localities to actively deploy response plans as well as strictly implement the 4 on-the-spot motto, ensuring safety for people, boats, and coastal infrastructure. This is the end of the QPVN News today. Remember to watch our news again at qpvn.vn. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.